All right, so again, let me get this woken up here. I want to thank you for taking time out of your Sunday afternoon to join us and learn a little bit about the 22 Fall Product Program. And as we mentioned throughout the introductions and before, we couldn't offer this program to our Girl Scouts without your assistance. You, as the service unit coordinator, serve as our front line to the troops and the Girl Scouts to help us distribute council information and to share any news or updates or items about the fall product that we need to get out. You help us to distribute that. So without you, it makes everyone's job more difficult, and it makes it harder for our girls to take the opportunity to participate in the program. And so really it's a blessing that you are so willing to step up and volunteer. So thank you, and we will continue to thank you throughout this training as well. I did want to go ahead and review again. The 2022 Fall Product Program will officially kick off on September 23rd and run through October 17th. So that is when the sale will be live, both online and in person. And this year's theme is Go Bright Ahead. So we'll talk a little bit more about the theme and everything in just a few moments. But I do like this theme, especially as we are emerging into an ever new normal. We want to make sure that we're able to go bright ahead into that future. So this afternoon, we're going to cover the following information. We're going to recap 2021 sales information, talk about this year's goals, discuss troop profit as well as the item lineup we're offering this year. We'll talk about troop dates, responsibilities, and finances. We'll also have Erin talk a little bit and share about the online program. We'll also go over girl rewards, more about the M2 operating system, and then talk a little bit about our fall product delivery locations. So as you can see, this cute seal is part of the theme for fall product this year. So our mascot is the Hawaiian monk seal. So you'll get to see some cute images of them throughout the training. And then the cookie theme will actually be Go Bright Ahead, but their mascot is a dolphin. So just taking a look at last year's program, for those of you that coordinated your service unit for us last year, this is what you helped our council to achieve. And we thank you for that. So we had 314 troops participate in the program, and that was a 2% increase over 2020. We had 1,577 girls participate in the program, which was almost 23% more than participated in the 2020 program. So again, more girls had the program at their fingertips, partly in thanks to you as volunteers. So this program is really working. We had a total of $506,967 in total sales, which was a 25% increase over 2020. We had $24,035 in Adopt a Soldier donations, which was almost 15% more than we were able to donate in 2020. And our per girl average was $321.48 per girl. The year before, it was $313.18. So we saw a 3% increase in our average per girl sales. So it was a great year, and we hope to at least see the same amount of participation. If not, we always love to see growth. So looking at our council goals for 2022 fall product, we would like to meet budgeted sales of $57,996 while maintaining our per girl average of about $321. So that is what, as volunteers, you are helping us to achieve by coordinating for the fall product program. So by the end of today, I hope that you'll feel familiar with your responsibilities as a service unit coordinator. For those of you who have helped us before, there's really no changes in the responsibilities you've had from the past. We'll also look at our offerings and rewards, the operating system, and any updates or improvements. So as a reminder, we are using the M2 media ordering platform, and that is really fun for our girls. They can interact with each other, they can interact with their troop leader, and it's just a really fun girl-driven site. They also have fantastic avatar design opportunities. Erin will also talk a little bit about this, but each year they add new components for the girls so they can really make an avatar that represents who they are as a girl in 2022. So hopefully they'll have a different look or outfit or appearance from year to year because they're growing and changing each year as well. All magazine sales also continue to be online only. That helps the customers to get their magazines more quickly, and it's a more efficient process altogether. So those of you that have volunteered with us for many, many years, you'll remember the paper order card process, and I think this is a smoother process than that had been in the past. So something good that we can continue to use for this year. Before I move on and we take a little bit of a look at what's new in 2022, I wanted to pause and see if there were any questions at the moment. Okay. I don't see anything in the chat and no one has said anything, so we're going to keep moving on here. Please feel free if you do have questions to just jump in or type in the chat, and I will pause like this periodically as well to make sure we have time to address any questions. So we have a few new features or new updates for the 2022 program. The first is that there will be a troop profit increase. So this year, troops will actually receive more profit per item than they have in the past. This year, they will earn $1.25 for each nut and candy item sold. That is up from the $1 per item that was offered in the past. And this year, troops will earn $3 for each magazine sold, which is up from the $2.50 offered in prior years. So we are hopeful that this will encourage additional troops to participate. I know there's always a fine line between offering too little and offering too much, and I think we found a sweet spot here for our troops to really make it worthwhile for their participation, and encourage them to start a strong bank account for their troop year by participating in the program. So I'm very excited to offer that to our troops this year. We do have a little bit of a tin lineup change. The caramel treasures are no longer an available item. So the chocolate covered pretzels will replace the caramel treasures as a tin option. So there will still be 3 tin options available, but instead of caramel treasures, chocolate covered pretzels will be offered in its place. We do have a couple product price increases. I'm sure you can imagine in a world where everything is in short supply and or having demand issues, prices are going up. So the price of tin has gone up. So 10 items will now be $12 per item. And the English butter toffee is now a $9 item. So just a couple of items that have increased, but again, they are our top selling items, and I think customers will still think that this is a fair price for the product that they are receiving. We also updated girl roles for the personalized patch and what they have to do to earn that patch. So this year, in addition to the standard requirements from the prior year, they will also need to use the Share My Site feature, which that is, I'm sure Erin will show us in M2 in a little bit here in the training. But if girls use that option, they can choose to share through social media or email or text to share their site to customers. In addition, girls will need to send 18 or more emails from the M2 site, as well as sell $300 or more in total sales. So that's nuts, candy, and magazines, as well as making sure that they design their avatar for 2022. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier in the training, we do have a unified theme across the 22 fall product and 23 cookie programs. So the theme for both of these programs will be Go Bright Ahead. For fall product, the mascot is this cute Hawaiian monk seal that you see pictured here. And again, that cookie mascot will be a dolphin that you'll get to meet in just a few months when we start training for cookies. So those are our new and updated items for 2022. Before we take a quick look at service unit coordinator responsibilities, are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll continue rolling on. So as a service unit coordinator, you help us with many different things. And one of the biggest components is making sure that we have a delivery location for your service unit. So when fall product is available in mid-November, we will need a location in your service unit for the delivery agents to drop your product to. And then from there, you will divide it up by troop, and troops will come to pick up that product. So if you could send me your delivery locations by September 19th, you'll just email me those details. My email is right here on the screen. It's emeyer, that's EMEYER at girlscouts-gsci.org. Several of you have already sent me your location, so thank you very much for that. But again, if you can get those to me by September 19th, that will work perfectly. Yes, Linda, I did get the location for service unit 4, so you guys are good to go. So thank you very much. So also as service unit coordinators, you help us as council staff to conduct troop level trainings. We will be offering a troop level training on the virtually, and that will be offered on Thursday, September 15th, beginning at 6 p.m. And to register or join that training, all you'll need to do is go to our website, getyourgirlpower.org, and it will be the headline banner right there. You'll click that and log in as a troop leader and attend the training. In case you know that there are several leaders in your area that can't make the training or missed that opportunity, you can offer a training yourself for troop leaders in your area, whether you set up a Zoom call like this, or you set up a, hey, let's meet at the local library for an hour to discuss things. That's up to you. But we do just, between the council and our coordinators, we want to make sure we get our troops trained. You also help us by distributing sales materials to troops. I know many of you let me know that you received your sales materials in the mail or delivered this week. If you haven't received those yet, go ahead and shoot me an email at that email on the screen, and we'll make sure we can figure out where that tracking is for that material. You also help us to oversee product orders online. We'll talk a little bit about that later on in the training. And you also work with our troop leaders to help them pick up their product as well as their rewards for the fall product program. You also collaborate with our membership program and product sales staff on troop training and attendance, those people that you know that you worked with in person or virtually. You also then help to oversee the delivery site. You're kind of the person in charge at that delivery site. Council staff will be there to help you, and hopefully volunteers will be able to help you as well. But that is a key for troop product pickup. You also help us by organizing rewards for distribution at reward pickup, which, as in the last few years, rewards will be delivered separately from the product, just like the last few years have been. So on delivery day, you'll help us by collecting troop coordinator agreements from leaders. It's a good idea as they are signing their delivery ticket with you. If you exchange their copy of their ticket for their troop coordinator agreement, that helps us in the case of an outstanding balance, or if we need a record of did troop 1, 2, 3, 4 participate in the program, we have an agreement that tells us they did participate. Then there will be a GSCI staff member present at troop product pickup, and you can hand those off to them and they'll get them inter-office mailed to me. So that way I keep them as a record. So we had a coordinator ask, will awards be delivered prior to delivery of product or afterwards? So you will receive product first. So the nut and candy items will arrive first, and then a week or two later, the rewards will be delivered after the product. So that is how that is scheduled to be delivered. So product first, followed by rewards. So it's so important it has its own slides, just to remind you that rewards will arrive separately from the troop product. This year, and Erin, correct me if I'm wrong, but the target delivery date for rewards is the week of November 19th. So those will arrive to you, or if you are a coordinator who has them delivered to your local service center, just send me a quick reminder, and that way I'll make sure that those rewards are sent to the service center instead of your home. So I just, stole my own thunder here. So the rewards will arrive to you or your arranged location, and then you will set up another time with troops to pick up their rewards. Becky says, I wish we could get the rewards before so we could distribute all at the same time. It saves us time and troops trips to our homes. And I completely understand, Becky. I think it's supply issues and things like that, but I do hope that someday we can get back to the, where rewards would arrive with product or something similar, so that way it saves everyone a trip. But I do agree, Becky. I agree. Any questions before we move on? We have one in the chat here. What week will products arrive? Great question, Julie. Thank you. Products will arrive the week of November 7th through the 11th. So as you are arranging a delivery site, if you want to pick a day, November 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th, then you'll let me know what date you pick. I'll get those organized and approved by our delivery agents. And then I'll also let staff know when deliveries are scheduled so that they can begin organizing themselves to attend your delivery. So again, that is the week of November 7th. So November 7th through the 11th are your available dates for product delivery. Okay, so taking a look at some of the council fall product details, looking at who is eligible to participate in the program. Any Girl Scout can participate as long as she is registered and she does not have any outstanding debt or has a quote OSB in her name to either her troop or to the council. We also want to make sure that we impress upon our troop leaders that we really want to make sure we are distributing those parent permission forms and we are collecting signed parent permission forms, because that really helps us if there are any sort of issues or if we need to contact a parent. Having that signed parent permission form with their information is extremely important. And then troops are eligible to participate as long as they have no outstanding debt to our council. And again, we want them to sign a troop coordinator agreement form, and they will sign and submit those to you at product delivery. Julie, I believe, so Julie asks, where will we find those lists of girls with OSB? As soon as I receive those, and I believe it's on target to be given to me from our finance team the first week of September, I will share that list with you. So that way you have a record of it and you are aware of who and who is not eligible to participate in the program. Same with any service unit spreadsheets with troop information. Our membership team is working to get that all compiled for me, and we'll get that my way in the next week or two. As soon as they send that to me with all of the troops in each of your service units, I will be sending that to you via email. It'll be a direct email between you and I with your service unit only. And that way you also have a list of what troops are in your service unit, as well as a hopefully contact information for those troops as well. I say hopefully just because some people are great about keeping the online information up to date, and others of our parents or troop leaders are not so great. And so we hope that the list is as complete as possible. But that OSB list, as well as your troops by service unit list, will be available here in just about a week or two. Thanks, Julie, again for that reminder. So girls, troops, everyone can participate as long as their adults or girls are registered and they have a signed agreement form. So we will have training resources available on our council website. I know our tech team is currently working on putting that together. It should be available by midweek this week. It should be in the Cookies Plus section of our website that will have all of the forms, whether troop agreement form, parent permission form, outstanding balance, as well as any girl and parent training resources for our troop leaders to use, or troop training resources for our coordinators to use to train troops. And then we also have all kinds of great resources available through M2 Media and their training resources on the website. Linda, I don't know. Linda asked, aren't the troop leaders of troops with OSBs notified that they can't participate in the sales? And I don't know if the leaders themselves are notified. I mean, obviously they know that they are, that they have an OSB, but I don't think our council or our finance team reaches out to those troops and say that they cannot. A lot of times they use, you tried to log in, you didn't get to log in. Oh, the reason you can't log in is because you are outstanding balance, and then the troop will take care of it right away. And also, as Julie mentioned, coordinators have always had a way to tell those leaders which girls can, and that's that list of OSB girls that Julie referenced a little bit earlier. So once I get that to you, that will also help you to see which troops and girls have outstanding balances in their name. Any other questions while we're paused for the moment? Well, if you have any questions that you're formulating, I have one more slide before I hand it off to Mr. Aaron here. And so that is, again, just going over M2 Media, which is a nice transition then for Aaron. Our council URL is nice and long here, gsnutsandmags.com/GS Central Illinois. So that is what you will use to visit and log in. Service unit and troop coordinator emails will launch September 16th. So again, we are training our troop volunteers September 15th. They'll receive their email September 16th. Then girl parent emails will launch on September 23rd. I will be offering a girl parent demonstration of how to set up their M2 site once they get their email. I will be offering that training or demonstration on September 22nd. So that again is a Thursday evening, and I will be running through that from about 6 to 7 p.m. I will be recording that so I can share it as well on our council website so that girls can reference it. There's also a very helpful video as they're getting their site set up in M2. So we also want to make sure that as you get your launch email in September, that you update and or verify that your contact information is correct, as well as your delivery site information. And then that way, as we're wrapping the program up, we know that everyone's information is good to go and is accurate as possible. So with that, I am going to very quickly stop sharing my screen. Erin, you should be able to start sharing your screen. Looks like that's good to go. And I am going to go ahead then and mute myself and hand this over to Erin.
There we go. I just needed to find the unmute button. It seemed to want to hide from me. So can you hear me okay, Emma, and see the screen all right?
Yes, I can hear you and see you fine.
Awesome. Well, again, good afternoon. For those of you introduced myself to earlier, my name is Aaron Parker. I'm with M2 and Ashland Farms. It's great to be with you this afternoon. Really overall, we wanted to take you through just to go through again, just as a good reminder of the huge impact that your volunteer efforts is making on the girls within your council. I mean, it's an incredible learning experience, and we'll talk about the 5 product program skills that girls learn through this in just a moment. Troops are earning a lot of funds to do some amazing things over this upcoming year. As Emma talked about earlier, very exciting that the troop proceeds went up in this time of inflation, right? It's like you can't help but go to the grocery store and everything's going up. It's nice that troop proceeds are also rising there as well. So excited about that. We also know that troops love to give back to the community. Lots of opportunities, not only through folks making donations to buy products to help support folks in the area, but also we know that troops are investing their troop proceeds in the community too. So just some incredible things that are going on there, and just also helps to fund the overall girl experience as well through the many different programs that are available through Girl Scouting. There's 5 key skills that are learned through the program. Key one there from the very get-go when we talk through the M2OS software in just a little bit, the M2 site, it's focused on goal setting. What are the girls' goals? What are the troops' goals as part of the program? Girls are going to learn skills about money management. They're going to learn about people skills and engaging people in a variety of different ways. Also, girls are making decisions. Business ethics are learned through this program. And again, helps to support all the great programs, camp resources, and giving back through this great program. As Em mentioned earlier, this year's theme mascot is the Hawaiian monk seal. It hails from the Hawaiian Islands in the Johnston Atoll, which is very near the Hawaiian Islands. Basically, this specific seal is about 7 feet in length, 600 pounds, and lives for about 30 years. Some interesting facts about this specific seal is it can actually stay underwater for about 20 minutes. I get less than a minute, so that's pretty amazing, and can dive up to 1,800 feet, which is quite a depth there as well. We do like to focus on animals that are endangered or critically endangered. In this case, this specific Hawaiian monk seal is, and that's largely due to hunting, accidental capture, as well as habitat destruction. So definitely just kind of want to raise awareness of this specific mascot this year, and we'll see how it's kind of carried out in a little bit later in all the patches, as well as the Girl Reward recognitions as well. This is one of my favorite slides because it just highlights all the amazing products that are available. What's also interesting to me is it's truly a chocolate world, right? Off to the right-hand side there, you will see the top 5 items that are featured within your council. These are the 5 items that were purchased the most. Number 1 would be the deluxe pecan clusters. Number 2, the peanut butter bears. Number 3, the English butter toffee. Number 4 is the dark chocolate caramel caps with sea salt. And then number 5 is the mint treasures, and that's in the Girl Scout tin. So those are the top 5 items that customers, those Girl Scout customers within the council are purchasing. New products this year, really there's just one shift in terms of products this year, and that would be the Caramel Treasures is no longer available inside of the holiday tin. And so this year we're offering the chocolate covered pretzels in that tin. So that's going to be new to the lineup this year. That'll be part of the order card, as well as available online with Girl Delivered and Direct Ship. We have 2 tins this year. You'll see up along the top there. It's the Girl Scout Memory Box tin. It's just an amazing tin. Just really looks like a memory box. The lettering Girl Scout Memories is actually indented a bit there to make it look like it's actually been etched into the appearance of wood there. We've got some different patches and badges that are part of the program, as well as some different memorabilia. So just a great tin there. Inside of that specific tin, we've got the mint chocolate treasures. And then along the bottom there, we have this year's chickadee on a mitten tin. And there's 2 different product options for that one. Specifically the milk chocolate pretzels, which are new this year, and then also the deluxe pecan clusters as well. That's an option, once again, that'll be available in that holiday tin. In terms of the platform, we're going to walk through the software. I'm going to pause for a moment, Emma, see if there's any questions I need to field before we kind of jump in and I kind of take you through the girls experience, troops experience, and service units experience.
Sorry, had to find the mute button myself. It looks like The only thing was Linda had mentioned that she was glad that you got rid of the two tins that were alike. But unfortunately they're still alike because the chocolate covered pretzels and the um, deluxe pecan cluster tins will be the same. Is that
That's
still,
true.
that's correct? So Linda, I know that that is very confusing to deliver, but my one recommendation is if you flip them upside down, you can at least go by the tag. But I understand that it is very confusing to deliver. But otherwise, I think just want to make sure everyone can see Aaron's screen and everything. We're okay and good to go.
Awesome. All right, we're going to keep moving along. So
All right.
what we're going to do is first highlight the girls platform experience. What you're going to notice is that all of the screens look a lot different than they did last year. Now, the important thing to kind of focus on is, since we've got a lot of folks that are returning to this role, is that the functionality is the same. So in terms of all the different functions and features that you're used to, if you're a parent of a Girl Scout, that'll be the same. If you are, of course, as a volunteer as well, that will be similar. What we did is rebranded the site to be consistent with Girl Scout branding that's happening at the national level, at the council level, to make it consistent. So that's really a lot of the coloration, as well as some of the lettering and the layout is really to be consistent with that. But again, the functionality is going to be the same there. Basically, what's going to happen is that Girl Scout is on Go Day, or the first day of the program. She's going to get a launch email. Another way she can access the site is through a flyer that she'll receive along with her order card. That is another approach as well. Essentially, she's going to get into the site. That parent is going to put in, or guardian is going to put in their preferred email address to be able to participate with their Girl Scout. What they'll do is they'll confirm their membership. And so once they put in their information, put in their troop number, it should just tie directly to their membership. If for some reason it doesn't, we're not going to stop them there. We're still going to let them continue through, queue up all their emails and things like that. But if for some reason, once they complete that, we find that they don't have a membership confirmed, what'll happen is that'll get kind of sent over to Emma and the team. They'll review that, make sure that she's got her membership in place, and be good to go. So that's a kind of a check and balance there in terms of the process. One of the things that Girl Scout does, though, is once she's in there, she will also kind of set her goals. She's not only got her financial goals, but also her learning goals, goals that they have as a troop as well. And those will be highlighted there because those carry through into the communications to friends and family, as that Girl Scout asks them to come alongside her and to support her and her troop. One of the fun things, of course, is she'll get to build her avatar. That's where there's over 3 billion different combination possibilities there. She'll update her avatar. She participated last year. Maybe she changed levels. Certainly hairstyles change over time. There's lots of different footwear options. And so she'll be able to design that avatar that uniquely reflects her, that'll be carried out throughout her communications. And the last but not least, she'll be able to include a video. Maybe she's got a personal video talking about her Girl Scout experience. Maybe there's a troop video. And so there's an opportunity to be able to tie that into her invitation to friends and family. Again, as she designs her avatar, there's all kinds of different combinations there. It's got all the latest uniforms there and different outfits that are available, as well as different accessories, shoes, socks, all kinds of crazy stuff. So this is where the area where that Girl Scout can spend anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes just designing her avatar, because it's so much fun and a cool experience. But certainly she can come back at any point too and make that update as well. One of the other things that Girl Scout can do is, if she wants to record a voice message to friends and family, maybe in addition to her avatar, she also wants to include a message to friends and family about what she's hoping to do as a Girl Scout with the fall product program. She's able to do that as well, and that gets highlighted in communications to friends and family as well. Once she's in, there are so many different options available for that Girl Scout to communicate with friends and family. And really the key thing with this is options. Certainly she's got her order card that's available with that opportunity to take orders in that way. In addition, she can send emails to friends and family, offering them an opportunity to support her by purchasing nuts and magazines and chocolates. The key thing there is that over 50% of purchases are still through emails. Those online purchases are through email. So email is definitely a big driver there. However, there's different opportunities as well. One of those is with my Share My Site, and that's basically social media and texting. That's where that Girl Scout can, maybe she posts something to Facebook, maybe she posts, tweets with Twitter. And maybe she just simply sends a text to that parent, and then that parent sends her link off to friends and family as well. That's the Share My Site, where you can basically choose between those different options. And so we know that texting was over 10% of sales last year, and that's definitely a growing channel that's found under the Share My Site. There are also printable business cards as well, where that Girl Scouts avatar can be featured on there, as well as her unique code that she hands these out to friends and family. They go to either the Nutter magazine site, they enter in the code, and then they can support that Girl Scout directly. And then one of the last ways or options that girls can participate is with the door hanger. Those are found within the site. It's just as simple as clicking on the door hanger icon. That will basically print these off, and it creates a unique QR code. Like, who would have thought we would live in an age where QR codes were used so much? But this last couple of years has really, excuse me, driven that feature a lot. And so those Girl Scouts can now print off these door hangers with the unique QR codes. She goes to visit a neighbor. If they're not home, she can include that. They can just scan it and then directly support that Girl Scout as well. So lots of different options that are available to Girl Scouts, depending on how she and her family want to participate in the program. After kind of sending these different communications tools, we'll go back to the dashboard for a minute, to that girl's dashboard. She can send additional emails from there, use social media, text. We also know there's a girl's avatar room as well, where her avatar lives. And there's different virtual rewards that she earns through sending emails, texts, all that good stuff. There's also a troop photo there, so that she can have a photo of her along with all the other girls in her troop and their avatars, as well as the troop leaders as well. So any of the troop volunteers, those are featured on that troop photo as well. Towards the end of the program, that Girl Scout is going to then enter in the totals off of her nut order card into the software. Key thing there is all of the online sales are automatically entered into the software. So that Girl Scout never needs to enter any of the online sales. What she does need to do, though, is at the end of the program, enter in the totals off those nut order card that she has, so that we can make sure that order gets placed and we get her that product. There are also other tools like selecting rewards as well. So those Girl Scouts, as she reaches different levels, can select between different rewards. And then last but not least, there's different sales reports as well. So lots of different reports there, depending on if she wants to look at her sales overall, maybe specific channels. There are just tons and tons of different reports. And if you think the girls have a lot of reports, by the time you get to the troop and service unit levels, there's just an immense amount of reports there as well. So lots of different tools that are available. Now we're going to talk about the patches for a few moments and some of the rewards that girls can earn as part of the program. One of those is her very own personalized patch. You can see two different options here on the left and right hand side this year. We've got those featured there. We've got the kind of the scuba. We've got the snorkeling option on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, we've got the paddleboard option as well. So girls can choose between those two different background scenes. She can include different outfits or uniforms, as well as her very own avatar. She earns that by sending 18 emails through the M2 site, reaching $300 in total sales. And that $300 can be a combination of online sales and in-person sales on the order card. So it's total there. And then utilizing the Share My Site feature. Just has to utilize it once. It could be for Facebook, could be for Twitter, or it could just be as simple as that Girl Scout sends a text to that parent or guardian, and basically she can stop there or continue to send that on to friends and family as well. So those are just some different features that we're encouraging the girls to utilize, but certainly there's different options based on the different channels that Girl Scout families want to utilize. On the back of the nut order card, we have featured all the different girl level rewards. They are earned through At the very bottom, girls can earn patches for selling a certain number, 12 nut items or 3 magazines or sending emails. Or she can also earn the Care to Share patch for 5 Adopt a Soldier donations. And then otherwise, all rewards are in total. So total items, so a combination of both nuts and magazines are totaled up in units. And then girls earn rewards based off from those total units. And so you can kind of see featured up there. One of the things we like to call out is at the 40 level, you've got the small seal plush there. At many of the upper levels, mid to upper levels, there is a difference where girls can choose between a specific item or nutty bucks. And certainly girls at each level, because they are cumulative, can choose between the different items. So let's say, for example, she sells the 85 items. Maybe at the 85 level, she wants the $10 in nutty bucks. But then at the 70 level, she would prefer to get the color changing sunglasses. So girls can choose at each of those different levels their preferred rewards. All right, so I'm going to pause for a moment, and then we'll go through kind of the volunteer experience, and that would be at the troop level and then at the service level. Excuse me, service unit level. But I want to see if we have any questions before I move along.
I do have one, Erin, and then I'll make sure any other volunteers have no other questions. But Julie had asked, will past orders and or customers be visible to the girls, or will those have to be re-uploaded this year?
Yes, so past emails will be in there. So you'll be able to click on the emails that they'd like to send to again. And yes, if somebody had purchased from years prior, that information will be available as well.
Excellent, thank you. I don't see any other questions in the chat, but I didn't know if any of our volunteers had any questions while we're paused. Erin, I think we're good.
All right, so now we're going to talk through the volunteer experience. That would be yourselves. We're going to first start, though, at the troop level before we kind of go through the service unit level. Your troops are going to receive on September 16th, about that date, access into the software. They're going to get an invitation where they'll be able to basically log in with their email address and then set up a password. And one of the first things that they're going to do is there's a troop training video there. It's about 10 minutes in length. It's going to take them through the software overall. We're all about just-in-time training. Like, I could go through a lot of the ins and outs of the software right now, but let's face it, like, I know a week from now I wouldn't remember a lot, and a month from now is quite a bit. So we're all about just-in-time training. So what'll happen is troop will get access. You'll have given them an overview, or they've gone to Emma's training at the council level, and they'll then kind of, from that overview that's provided, really dive in with this troop training video. And then they'll be able to access the site. One of the first things we encourage them to do is to queue up what's called the parent-adult email campaign. That's the rename for the parent guardian email blast from last year. GSUSA has rebranded it to parent adult email campaign. So that's the new naming. Same function, just a new name. But I'll take you through that in just a moment in terms of what that looks like. We'll also have the volunteer avatar as well. We always encourage those troop volunteers, get in there, queue up the emails, but then all the more, make sure you update your avatar, because those Girl Scouts and the troops, they're going to be looking for that troop leader's avatar. And so it's really important to get that updated. Once they've gone through that troop training video, first thing we're going to encourage them to do is get that parent-adult email campaign, those emails set up. And so what they'll do is they'll click on that link off their dashboard. They'll see in there all of the Girl Scouts that are in their troops that are registered, that council has provided, that we've uploaded. This is their opportunity to go in and say, okay, so for Alicia Truesdale, oh, that's not the email address that their family uses for participating with Girl Scouts. And so you go in there and update that if needed. If for some reason maybe one of the Girl Scouts isn't in there, you can add her name and contact email as well for that parent or guardian. And so we ask them to log in and do this. And the reason for that is because what happens then is on day one of the program, or go date, an email comes from the software on behalf of the troop inviting that Girl Scout to participate. We know that the open rate on those is well over 75%, like huge high open rate when that email comes from that troop volunteer. And so we really want to encourage them To launch this, it has instructions for that Girl Scout and family on how to participate in the program. Back at the troop dashboard itself, this is the main dashboard that a troop will see. Again, different coloration this year, slightly different layout, all the same functions and features though as in the past. Some of the tools available, you can send messages. So you can send messages to one or more Girl Scout families within the troop. You can also manage the nut order entry. So the girls and families will enter in their nut totals off their order card. They'll get locked out, and then there will be an opportunity for the troops to either edit those or enter in, maybe if a Girl Scout family missed that deadline, they'll be able to enter in those order card totals as well. We ask the girls to select rewards, but certainly if they miss selecting a reward, there's an opportunity for at the troop level to make that selection as well. So that's available. Lots of different sales reports, and then there's banking and payment options as well. Under this specific category, what I like to call out is that as that troop leader volunteers receiving kind of the funds for the order card, what that troop leader can do is actually enter in the totals within the software, and it will zero out the amount that's due from that Girl Scout family. So that's one way you can use the software, because there are individual reports by girl about how much they owe. And again, everything's collected online except for the order card. And so once that Girl Scout provides payment to that troop can zero that out within the software and use that as a way to manage within the software if they choose. Not required, but again, it's one way that you can utilize the software. There is a troop personalized patch as well. The way in which the troops earn that is basically they got to design their avatar. Certainly they can pick between different uniforms there, different backgrounds. We need them to send that parent-adult email campaign. So that's important to do that. And then we ask that they, the parent guardian email campaign message. And then we ask that they reach $1,300 in total sales. And so again, that can be a combination of order card and online sales, but that adding up in total of $1,300. Once that happens, it automatically triggers that patch to be sent off to the company that produces those. So that's a troop dashboard. Now we're going to kind of take a few moments on the service unit dashboards, hit a few kind of overall things with deliveries, and then kind of close out with some customer care stuff. So service unit level, that's your level. You're like super users. You have all the different functions and features. You have the ability to message to your troops, and so you can message to one or more of those. You can also edit nut order card entries. So after the troops are locked out, if there's any edits that need to be made there, you have the ability to do that. You have access to tons of sales reports. And then you too can kind of see any of the banking or payment information along the way as well. You also have the opportunity to receive a avatar patch as well as a thank you from M2 for all of your efforts and your commitment to the program. Your service unit just simply needs to reach $1 in sales during the program. Once that happens, we'll automatically send that off to the patch company, get that produced and sent off to you. So once you log in that mid-September timeframe, once you also get your launch email and access at the time with troops, you want to go in there, build your avatar, include your best mailing address, and we'll get that sent off to you once your service unit reaches at least $1 in sales. In terms of dates overall, I know that Emma had talked those through earlier, so we've got some overall dates there related to the program. In terms of timing, and Emma, I'm thinking those dates look off a little bit. So I'm gonna actually watch this. You're gonna actually see this slide removed because some of those dates don't look right. So
I would agree. Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much.
So that slide's gone. The dates you should refer to are in your guides, and the dates that Emma shared earlier is going to be your best resource there. And then in terms of kind of nut deliveries, what's going to happen is in the dates that Emma had talked about earlier in terms of for nut deliveries, you're going to receive that product. What you're going to do is then sort it by troop, and I'll share in just a moment. There's some great reports there, and then the troops are going to pick that product up, and then they're going to schedule some time with their Girl Scout families to pick that product up. There are within the software delivery tickets, so those will be available to you. You can run it for your total service unit if you want to, just to get a sense on which total product's going to be received by you. But certainly you can also, and we encourage this, for your run it by troop as well, because what happens is you'll get the product, you want to sort it out by troop, and then they can schedule some time with you to come pick up that product. It just makes it a lot easier for picking and packing. There's also, you can include troop financials on the bottom of this delivery ticket as well if you choose to, just to give troops a sense of kind of their finances and money owed and all that kind of stuff. So that is a tool that's available. One of my favorite reports, though, and this is one that you want to just call out to the troops as well, is it's the troop summary report. It's just a great report. It's under reports, it's found at the very end. Just does a great job of here's the total sales minus the troop proceeds, balance due to council, and it breaks out the sales by channel as well. Gives overall stats on girl participating and all of that, and that's found off to the right-hand side here. Just a great report. That we always encourage troops to utilize as they're kind of tracking stuff. As I mentioned earlier, troops can use the software to keep track of payments from individual Girl Scouts for their order card sales. It's just a great way to kind of zero those out and see amounts that are due. And that's featured off to the left-hand side here. So the key thing is lots of different reports and tools available to troops. And you'll have to varying degrees. Some troops that will use all of these, some that will use none of them. And so we want to make sure that you're at least aware of them, but certainly troops can utilize them as they dig around in the software. As mentioned before by Emma, the rewards are going to arrive a bit after the nut delivery. And key thing there is you'll receive that to whatever site, whether it's your home or if you have the products rewards received to the service center based on where you have that delivered. What you want to do is you can actually run delivery tickets for rewards by troop. And so you can do that. And then once the troop picks up the rewards, the troop can also run delivery tickets by girl as well to know which items to hand out. So there's some great tools that are in there. It's just to give you an idea of kind of what that looks like. And again, you can run it by service unit. Here's all the rewards you're going to receive for the whole service unit by individual troop. And then troops can run it by individual girl. Certainly you can run it by individual girl at the service unit if you really want to, but that's a tool that we really built for the troops to be able to utilize. Because again, it makes it a lot easier for picking and packing once you kind of have the individual tickets available. With that said, I've got kind of my final slide here before we kind of open it up to just kind of general questions. The important thing to know is that as a volunteer, we've got your back at the end of the day. From an M2 perspective, certainly council's got your back, but I want you to know that we at M2 are there for you in terms of providing support for you, support for your troop volunteers, support for Girl Scout families and their customers. If folks have tech questions, need tech support, maybe they need help with tracking down a nut order, of a direct ship nut order, maybe they have a question about a magazine order or something like that. A couple different ways to reach out. One of them is the support gsnutsandmags.com. There's lots of FAQs there. Certainly, if you can't find the answer you're looking for there, you can also submit requests to be contacted directly by them via email. And so that's an option there. Certainly, if you want to pick up the phone, make a phone call too as well. There's a 800 number available there, and our customer care team's there, dedicated Girl Scout team, ready to support you. So we guarantee 100% customer satisfaction. We want to make sure that everything's taken care of for you. So know that we got your back, and we're glad to come alongside you in your volunteer efforts. So with that, I'm going to say thank you for your continued support of the Girl Scouting and the fall product program overall. Looking forward to a successful 2020 program. And Emma, I'll turn it back over to you with any questions we may have and just kind of any closing thoughts.
Perfect. Thank you, Aaron. We did have one question that popped up when you were talking about the service unit coordinators can message troops and things from the M2 system. Becky had asked, when messaging to troops, does it just go to the troop dashboard or to their email?
It goes to their email.
Okay, perfect. So Becky, that might be a little bit more convenient because they may not be, logging in every day to check their dashboard, but they get an email that, there's a message and they, they can check that. So that is nice that it goes directly to their email. Do we have any other questions? Well, if you think of anything as we're wrapping up, please feel free to interrupt me. But I again just want to thank each and every one of you for your time this afternoon, and I am happy that we can hopefully give you back a little bit of time this afternoon from what we originally planned, which is great on a nice afternoon like this afternoon. So, like I said, in the coming couple of weeks, I will be sending you the list of girls with an outstanding balance. And that just means for anybody who might be new, that means that through either last cookie program or the prior fall product program, the girl or the troop accumulated what we call bad debt. And so they have an outstanding balance to our council, which means that we have taken the money collection responsibility away from the troop leader in order to maintain a nice positive relationship between the Girl Scout or the troop leader and their families. Then we as a council take over the collection services of that debt that either the troop or that Girl Scout owes. But we also need to share that list with our coordinators, so that if you have a leader who reaches out to you or a parent that says, I can't get in, then you can help guide them a little bit to maybe contact council, and we'll work with them on that payment. So that list of OSB girls and troops will be coming, as well as a list of each of the troops in your service unit. So that way you have contact information for your troops, but you'll also be able to see any updated contact information a leader might be adding once they get into the M2 system in September. So look for those items coming, and I will probably midweek this week be sending an email to follow up with everyone from the training. I'll share a link to this recording of our training, as well as any follow-up materials that we may need. And that's also an opportunity. If you have any questions, please feel free. So hopefully you all have my phone number and email address. And if you don't, please feel free to send me a message on here and I'll share that with you. But I am always available if you have any questions or concerns. But again, I thank you so much for taking time this afternoon and all the time you are about to invest in the fall product program.